All right, let's dig into the meat of this. So the first step that we're going to teach tonight is, first of all, how to recruit contractors. That's difficult. So the biggest challenge even that general contractors have is finding good workers. And the reason why we know that is because we always have general contractors who call us and they're like, hey, we heard that you guys saw a lot of houses, 132, but who's counting last year? We want to do some work for your customers. Like, all right, well, here's the deal. Have you ever drank from a fire hose before? Because they come to us, they said, oh, I can handle it. And we give their number out. And then 2 months later, we're like, whatever happened to Bill? Oh, man, they got stretched too thin. They told everybody yes. They took on 8 rehabs at a time, and they're done. Oh, man, what about John? Same thing. So the shortage that they have are finding subcontractors. Now, what most real estate investors do, which is a wise move, is they operate as their own general contractor. So think about it. A person who's a general contractor is out there every single day, has a hard time bringing in reliable subcontractors. Do you think that you're going to have an easier time or a harder time finding subcontractors? Harder, right? Does that mean that it's impossible? No. But it's a great way to save money. A lot of the investors that we see making the most amount of money function as their own general contractor. Tonight, we're going to show you exactly what that would look like. We'll talk to you a little bit about how to manage your week, how to do this around your current schedule. Because I know looking out across the room, most of you have full-time jobs, and this is something that you're just doing on the side. So the first thing you've got to do, you've got to learn how to recruit contractors. And the way you will do that is by constantly being on the lookout for potential contractors that can work for you. My favorite hobby is to drive around and look for signs on the sides of trucks and cars, and I take a picture of it. And I actually have like do you guys have iPhones, like the photo stream? I have a photo stream of pictures that I've taken of contractors' cars and trucks. I have 350 photos in there, all different trades. And I'll call them up and be like, where'd you get my number? I'm like, oh, well, from the picture, it looks like I was driving like 65 miles an hour on 275, and I took a picture. But will you do some siding work for us? Sure. So always be on the lookout for contractors. You can always have your phone with you, take pictures of them there. Even when you don't need them, constantly be pulling in contractors, constantly. So you have to always constantly be on the lookout for them. These are the different trades that you're going to need to have. So I'm going to rank them by the easiest to find to the hardest to find. The easiest ones to find: roofers, siding people, windows, heating and air, and painters. Those are the tier 1 first level contractors. There's a ton of those people out there. So because of that, you need to have a bunch of those. What I'm telling you, what I would recommend is that you should have at least 3 to 5 names of each one of these trades that you can call. It's a long list, but if you're constantly building it, when the time comes, you'll have some people to call. Remember last month, one of the things I talked about was momentum and being able to shift directions if you needed to. So the investors that are really making it happen, if a contractor's not working out for them, they've got a deep bench of other people that they can call. They can instantly make a change. But if it's the only person you've ever worked with, and it's your brother-in-law, well, it's tough, right? So you need to have plenty of these people ready to call. And you need to know what the pricing is that you need to pay them as well. So you need to dictate the price to them, right? And carpet and flooring. If you need carpet and flooring, particularly carpet, you're going to call one person and one person only. And that's Dan Jones sitting right back there. Dan,
I'm not going to stand up.
You don't have to stand up, but I want you to, what's your phone number that they can call? Because this is being videotaped. It's going out on the interwebs.
Okay, good idea. 886-2674.
886-2674. Dan, did you slip me $20 before you walked in here? Did you know I was going to say anything? Do you join anything at all?
No.
Okay, good. Dan is one of the rare contractors who years ago said, hey, I'm going to do some carpet business because that's what I've done a lot of. Will you send us some business? And he's still in business today. And the bulk of your stuff comes from real estate investors, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Almost $250,000 last year.
That's incredible. The nice thing about Dan is he's got a low budget operation, just works out of his car. So he doesn't have a showroom or anything like that. And Dan's been investing in real estate for years and years. So he knows exactly what you're trying to accomplish, and he's on your side. So that's the only guy you need to call right back there. All right, the second thing they're going to be a little harder to find, and again, you just need to constantly be pulling these people in, is concrete people, foundation people as well. Framers are very tricky to find. Very tricky. Electric, unlicensed are easier to find than licensed. For people that can do electric, maybe you need like a ceiling fan switched out or something that doesn't involve a permit, is what I'm getting at. Plumbers unlicensed as well. You will need some of these. People that can do plumbing. Now, they're not the ones that are going to put in the new bathroom for you, but you need somebody that at least has the ability to do plumbing and has a basic knowledge of that. All right, now that you get into the higher level people, and they're harder to find, and because the good ones are always busy with other people, right? Licensed electricians and licensed plumbers. Those are the hardest. You're going to pay top dollar for those people. Just understand it. It took me years and many leaky kitchen ceilings before I finally realized, we should really start making sure that these guys are licensed. You will pay more, but I promise you can pay somebody not very much now and then hire a professional at the end when the ceiling collapses 2 weeks after you sell the house. So they're worth their weight in gold, people. Right? Finished carpenters as well. They're difficult to find, but once you find them, they are worth their weight in gold. Because it's the difference between getting top dollar for your rehab or getting $8,000 below market value. Because your drywall's not quite right, your trim is kind of funky, your framing is a little bit off, the doors don't shut all the way. So you might have saved a little bit of money, but the market will tell you, we're going to pay $8,000 less for that house. So how much did you really save? Right? Pay me now or pay me later. All right, some other people that you might need as well. General laborers, you got to have some laborers. Skilled laborers, maybe $25 an hour. And these are all prices for here in Cincinnati. Unskilled labor, $10 an hour. Summer's coming up soon here. Got a lot of nephews and friends' kids and stuff. The house is not going to demo itself, right? Unskilled labor. So your target for most of your labor here in Cincinnati is $200 to $250 a day. Obviously, a plumber or electrician is going to be a little bit more than that, but that's about what you're looking at for your team of laborers. All right, so how do you get them? What are some resources? I'm just going to throw some things out here. Again, it's not that complicated. It's not that complicated. Referrals, that's the easiest way.
Craigslist.
Vehicle ads, another way. Like I said, take pictures. Go to Home Depot. Somebody said go to Home Depot really early in the morning so you know the ones that are really good. You can look on our website. We have a contractor directory. Lori works constantly to call into that directory. And she's asking those people for referrals. She's vetting them as they come in. We have a lot of people that get added to that directory that we're trying to vet. So it's a pretty good resource. It's not exactly where we need it to be, but you can go on there. That's why it's completely free. Just click on their contractor directory. You can submit contractors on there. You can rate contractors on there as well. And then Craigslist. You said it already. You read my mind. Craigslist is a great resource. And yeah, you can go on Angie's List and you can do these different things, but for most of what you guys are trying to accomplish as real estate investors, you want to pay wholesale prices, not Yellow Pages prices. I'm going to have to adjust that term now. You don't want to pay Angie's List prices. If I see that Angie's List seal of approval on the truck, I'm like, man, it's going to be expensive. Nothing wrong with that, but save that for those retail kitchen remodels for the people that are at the Home and Garden Show. There's plenty of good people that you'll meet on Craigslist. Some of the best contractors that have worked for us to this day, we met on Craigslist, right? So these are just some easy things. It's really, again, it's not that complicated. All right, now the second thing, and this is the bulk of what I'm going to talk about tonight because this is the biggest challenge. You can go on Craigslist and find names of contractors all day. That's fine. You can take pictures of trucks and cars and things that have contractors' names on it. No problem. We all got that, right? Well, you get them in, and they're ready to go. Well, now what? Now the fun begins, right? So we're going to, it's like herding cats, right? That's what that picture's for. Do you guys get that? Managing contractors is like herding cats. Now, we're going to give you some very practical tools that you can use. Number one is going to be contracts. If it's written down, that makes it a lot easier. Here's a couple must-haves you absolutely have to have. You absolutely have to have a budget. I've always wanted to do an experiment. And if anybody wants to help us with this, it'd be really cool. Wouldn't it be so neat to like film a rehab and just do like a test and say, okay, I'm going to get 3 bids from contractors with just no budget at all. Just say, tell me what you think it will cost, general contracts for the whole job, and then get 3 more bids where you give them the actual budget that you have. Do you think that if you give them no budget at all, or you give them a budget, which one do you think they'll be closer on? The budget, right? So you have to have a budget. On our packets, on our houses, on the second page, we have a breakdown of the budget that we use. Doesn't have to be fancy. I'll get into a couple different budgeting things, but that's a whole topic that's for another day. But you absolutely have to have a budget so you know what you're working on. You need to know what your top level is. You have to have a work breakdown structure, so we're going to give you that tonight. This is a new concept that we introduced a couple years ago, actually. This isn't something that we got from somebody else. Work breakdown structure, and then finally you need to have a schedule. Their schedule or your schedule? Yes, your schedule. Good, good. See, we're learning. It's your schedule. All right, so your budget. So it only needs to be as detailed as you need it to be, right? Doesn't have to be crazy. I know we have a lot of customers who are engineers, but not everybody can go to that level. Whatever budget you'll use is the right one for you. Any budget at all is better than none, okay? So it only has to be as detailed as you need it to be. Don't overthink it. Don't worry, okay, well, should the tile, does that go in the kitchen, or is that in the bathroom, or is it in flooring, and I give up. It doesn't matter. You can put it in whatever category you want to. Like I said, on the second page of all of our packets, we have the budget that we use. We have the categories that we use. Those aren't right or wrong. That's a budget, right? And then finally, just keep it simple. See, budgeting is not that complicated. It's the most that you should spend in the different areas. If you want to go in and start counting drywall screws and all that stuff, you can. But really for the budget, that's more the scope. The budget is just what are our upper limits that we want to spend. We don't want to go over. All right, the second thing is the work breakdown structure. And this is a little more advanced than you might be willing to take on, but I'm telling you it'll be worth it.